Oh, good, we weren't live.
We weren't. Well, you just said we weren't live while we were live, so
Bum
no.
bum bum.
That's welcome to the Dead
We didn't
Unicorn,
use bad
where
language.
we debate whether plants can feel pain.
We do. We
It
do that.
is an interesting discussion that we
Vociferously.
will no longer go into because
They don't.
we're gonna
They do.
we're not
They
gonna
totally
air
do.
this argument that we just had off screen. This is not what we're doing. I
Don't believe
deny
big
it.
plants. They do. They feel pain.
They feel
Stop the vegans.
that cucumber. No.
Oh, speaking of, we've got a softening cucumber in the fridge.
Oh yeah, I need to get rid of that, I guess.
That
Uh,
definitely
This
has
is
to
a
be in the
science
window.
experiment waiting to happen.
We're
I thought
not
it was
gonna
in
play
your
D&D
window.
today. This is just not happening. Yes, welcome to the Dead Unicorn, where we're gonna play a role-playing game. We're gonna play Dungeons and Dragons: The Eternal City. If you want to know more about the Eternal City, there's an Obsidian portal link in the description below. You can go down there, click
Oh,
it.
right, that's
and
a thing.
That's a thing. That's a thing.
Oh,
There's
right there.
important
I see
information. Also, there's probably information down there about my Patreon, which is really great. There's free adventure modules there for Dungeons and Dragons and Legends of the Five Rings. You can go click that and pick them up. And if you want to support me while you're there, that's awesome, because these guys right over here, they support me as well. And I would like to thank them personally: Necrosis, Andy, and KMJH. Thank you very much. And now it's time to introduce everybody. My name is Corey, and I'm the Game Master. And we're going to have a couple other people. One of them has left the building, it looks like, but I guess we'll do that last. We also have Crystal.
So I had to fix it.
Now
Sorry.
you're just interrupting me. You have no class, you have no tact. You
And
should
I think
leave.
plants feel
Just
pain.
go.
What kind of horrible
Go. You wanted to
person
go,
am I?
go.
I had to fix the lights. I'm sorry.
I noticed. It was dark in there.
Well, you look better in the dark.
So that's Tarek over there. The guy giving him some sass is Howard. And lastly, we have Crystal. And they're playing.
I was also first.
I introduced you twice? Well, look at me. We're gonna give you their character names too: Regulus, Verbositus, and Audrey. They're an elf, a tiefling, and a halfling. And they've been going through some adventures where the Oracle has had an eerie portent of danger. A buried, the buried god will awaken, something of that nature. You tried to ask questions, but unbeknownst to you, you only had one each, and you squandered them. Squandered them.
Good times.
I mean, she said
All
something
very
about
proud.
ant. We're fine. They're ant.
Nailed it.
Then you started an investigation where you're looking for artifacts of the Modrons, as the Modrons have been stealing people's stuff. And you met the town captain of the guard, a man named Tiberius Belisarius, and he had the Canis. No, he had a magical item
Telemaeus.
called the Telemaeus, which was basically a gear shaft
The telemaeus. Okay, that's the word that I was
that
trying
they were using as like a quarterstaff. But you left him alone. You went off and you went to go see the Dragonborn, a man named Medius the Blue. And you asked him to look up stuff about these artifacts for you, and he came back with a whole bunch of information. And you were in the middle of discussing that information, so you can go ahead and do exactly that.
I feel like the librarian is going to be more helpful than the oracle who can see the actual future. I'm just saying
Yep.
that right now.
Well, he gave us some interesting information about
The morons.
About the
little
Modron.
people.
Modrons.
That's
and he
what I
also
said.
gave us a very concerning piece of information about how these artifacts may not be located. Any further artifacts may not be located within the city. So unless we are willing to leave the confines of the city and go on some grand adventure to search them out, we may need to confront the Modron directly or find some way to get our hands on this Telemius artifact.
Yes, the Oracle was very clear that we needed to ingratiate ourselves with the Morons.
Modron, yes.
Modrons.
I think both are right.
Well, either way, we should decide on how best we can approach this. Robustitus, you did mention that these creatures wanted more of their artifacts.
Well, if we can't give them the staff, then we would have to go find another one. If you want to try and heist the staff, then maybe we could just do that.
I would not steal anything.
Well, then we have to find one of the other ones. We could give them a map of the staff and let them do their own heisting.
Perhaps we can convince Tiberius to allow us to utilize this staff
Yes.
No,
to further our
I'm going to
investigation.
point out, he is a military man. The military man sees something new and making any claims on something of his, he's going to see that as an enemy. I'm seeing that if we tell him we're going to see troops march on the people we're supposed to be trying to make friends with, I don't think leading an army down there will make us seem like friends.
Oh no, of course not. I'm simply suggesting that perhaps we should convince Tiberius that we need his staff to continue our investigation, and then we can make use of it as we see fit.
We'll see if he'll just sell it.
I do not know that he is that willing to depart with it, but he did mention that he would be willing to assist us in our investigation when I brought up the mention of using the staff as bait to draw out those that might seek to take it from him. Perhaps we can convince him that we are going to use it in such a way to further our investigation and figure out who is targeting these individuals.
Right, and then afterwards, we give the staff to the Modrons, and then tell him, oh, they got it, all bad.
I imagine that as soon as we get access into the Modrons' territory, that perhaps we could discover if they're worthwhile to continue some form of communication with, or if they need to be excised from the city as a cancer.
It's true. When she said that we should make friends with them, I don't know if that meant we should actually become personal, lifelong friends, or if merely that was the means to the end of learning what they are, where they came from, and whether or not they're here to kill us all.
Well,
The
luckily,
impression I
Medius gave us...
got was that if we didn't become friends with them, or rather, if we didn't convince them that we were friends, that they would do something bad to the city.
Oh, see, I took from that they would do something bad to us. And if we were stopped, then of course they would do something terrible to the city. But I understood it that these were the ants she was speaking of. These creatures were the ants she was speaking of. And that we were to stop them from continuing to rebuild their territory.
That would
Yes.
align with my own vision. I wonder if my vision and her visions are caused by the same thing, the horrible smell.
Yes. She did seem to react to it as though it was some type of drug.
It's highly likely.
I wonder if I can learn to harness that smell as she does and just give out visions each day.
I'm sure there are easier ways of accomplishing such augury.
I don't know any. I don't really want to become like a supplicant to some deity.
Well, I think our best option is probably just to go back to Tiberius and tell him what's going on and see if he's willing to help.
You find him to be a trustworthy man.
He is the
I'm
captain
not
of the
the-
guard.
That means so little.
To me, I think he is trustworthy.
He seemed trustworthy, even if he hadn't been the captain of the guard.
But what are you basing this on other than the fact that he seemed pleasant in one conversation? I could seem pleasant in one conversation. I can tell you now that most people shouldn't trust me because I don't like them.
I don't mean he was nice. He really wasn't
You two are
nice.
good.
But
You
he
two are good.
seemed to mean the things that he said.
He seemed to be a straightforward and pragmatic individual, indeed.
Yes.
Very well. I appear to be outvoted, so if you wish to tell the man the truth, I will stand there and watch that unfold.
In any case, we might need the guards' help in this matter anyway.
They're guards, they'll help us with it no matter what. We just go, help, help, and they run, that's their job. Look, we're being chased by what appears to be cubes and circles. Help! When they realize we're not drunk, they'll help.
Well, at least not all of us will be drunk.
Yes,
I know, it seems
we
like
don't
it'd
have
be
to
more fun
continue
drunk.
making fun of Verbositus just because he can't hold his liquor.
It's Verbositus, you drunk.
Oh, indeed, indeed. Now, let us go back to Tiberius.
Okay.
Alright.
You guys leave the halls of the Dragonborn's library.
Question. Will they let us take any information with us, or do we have to leave all the books there?
Oh, I took notes down from what
You,
the
yeah,
guy
you can
wrote.
take notes, but you can't take a book.
Ugh. What if I get a little card and I draw my face on it and like write my name and they like in the number and then they can copy the number? We could set up a whole system here.
Yeah.
Oh
don't
yeah,
know
is
why,
this
but I
like a
wanted to call it-
situation where only the Dragonborn lore masters get to look at the books?
Yes.
Yeah, I
Right.
recommend.
In fact, he didn't bring books with him when he came to meet you and talk
Yeah,
to
he
you.
brought paper and he said he brought notes.
Like he went and he studied the stuff, wrote it all down, and brought it to us.
Yeah.
These
Well,
guys are some hardcore nerds.
Corey had mentioned that's why he was gone for so long, was because he was doing he had to do like creative research and cross-referencing things and taking
Yeah,
notes.
I caught all that. I thought he did that research to figure out which books to bring. I didn't realize he was
Oh.
actually like writing the research paper for us. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. What an amazing nerd he is. Not Corey, the Dragonborn.
Well,
But
that's
maybe
what-
Corey.
Well, both. Let's be honest.
That's the Dragonborn's job. That's what they do here. They are the keepers of lore and magic.
And could you imagine how easy college would be here? So my paper's going to be on this subject. I'll need a bibliography.
Yeah. Don't forget your citations.
What? Why did I get such a bad grade? Well, your citations weren't in order. But it's not my fault my Dragonborn was bad at it!
Yeah.
So,
I just pictured for a moment that your teacher was also a Dragonborn. And I'm like, oh, well, there you go.
Teacher, Tarascate my homework by eating my Dragonborn.
it really sucks when the Dragonborn sneeze on their homework and it all just burns up.
Yeah.
Or acid takes the desk. Depends on what you're looking at, really.
Whatever, lightning, everything's on fire again. The only thing that saves it is cold breath. Well,
Yeah. It's
The ice
preserved,
cube
but
that
we're
is
gonna
the
have
desk.
difficulty reading it.
You know, that happened in Batman 3 or 4. Where Mr. Freeze was reading a newspaper that he'd frozen.
That was 4.
4.
3 was the Riddler. 4 was Mr. Freeze.
Chill out.
Mr. Freeze, Mr. Freeze. All right, so we heading off to the guard depot.
Okay, unless there's y'all are done here, you head back to the guard to the main guard building, the custodian station, whatever it's called.
Yeah, I think we got all the information that we could at least think of to ask.
Yeah, for now.
And we were allowed to keep the Dragonborn's notes?
Yeah, I took down notes. I copied them down.
Oh, okay.
So you guys walk into the polished halls, and there's that little gnome sitting there. He's chatting to somebody. He sees you walk up.
He's like, "Oh no, they're back! Cheese it!"
I look at the nice halls and immediately remember to straighten my clothing and make sure everything is polished and good. Which it should be, because I cleaned myself up pretty well last game. Got some new clothes.
Welcome back.
Indeed, we have gone about our. Well, actually, I probably shouldn't be speaking, but I'm still gonna pipe up. We have gone about researching more about these disappearances of these artifacts, and we wanted to discuss our findings with Tiberius. Would he be around? I know that his time is valuable, and we have been quite taxing already, but it would help us in our investigation.
Yes, he did return. I can see if he's not busy.
Indeed.
Okay, he'll walk over to another person. That person will scurry on out. He'll get back to his desk and start talking to other people. He says, "You guys can
Corey,
wait on that bench."
Quick question. In this Romanesque world, what are the rules on hosts and guests? I mean, is it expected for us to be like, we're a bit peckish, or...
Do you have any wine available?
That's really what we're looking for.
That's what I'm looking for.
He says that there's no wine in the guard.
You gotta be
In the guard
sober on
station.
dirty.
Yeah.
On duty.
On duty.
I'm dirty.
Gotta be sober on dirty.
Okay. But I honestly, I was asking out of character. I want to know what is considered the norm. I don't want to be like a jerk, but if that's
Yeah, there's no
expected-
food. There's no food and wine here at this
Okay.
place. There's people wandering. There's like the halflings cleaning up, and there's gnomes with like paperwork going back and forth. There's humans looking all sorts of intimidating, keeping an eye on you.
I'm a scary human. Sorry, I didn't know what a human's looking all intimidating was, so I just kind of
You don't know what an intimidating human looks like?
Not when I have horns and like demon.
Oh, you're
features.
role playing that you don't know what. When in fact
I,
there's a
Howard,
guy.
have been scared.
There's a guy standing like a statue, looking sternly in his helmet and gleaming armor.
I adjust my powdered wig and make sure it's hooked correctly over the horns. Polish the tips of my horns with what looks kind of like a pool cue there. Just
You mean the little chalk thing?
yeah, that thing.
So,
He's applying cosmetics.
If it takes a while before Tiberius comes out, I'll pull out a dragon chest set and challenge Audrey to a match.
well, it doesn't take long for somebody to come back to you guys. It's a page, and he says, "I'm terribly sorry, Belisarius. Belisarius is busy with training right now. You can come back in 3 hours, or he said that within reason you can make requests to see records if you need to in your investigation."
We were actually hoping to speak with him himself regarding matters Regarding the investigation, of course.
We wanted to ask if we could utilize the staff we inquired about earlier in order to set a trap for the would-be robbers.
I don't know anything
Is
about
it-
that.
Well, the staff belongs to him, which is why we wanted to speak with him.
We'll come
Right.
back in 3 hours.
Okay.
There are some records that I might be interested in researching, however.
Card records? Oh, that sounds exciting.
Sure, if these artifacts might have been smuggled into the city, or other people might have located them, they might be written down in some ancient
seems-
logs.
Perhaps, but it seems like he would have known about it.
That's probably fair.
And also, the Dragonborn said there were no records of any of those artifacts being here except for the two that we already know about.
Unless they had hidden them from the record. He did say that those records were potentially manipulated
now that
at
you
some point in the
mention
long
it,
past.
yes. There might be
So we
records elsewhere that haven't been tampered with.
Which is why I thought we might cross-reference them here with the cards.
I'll tell you what, why don't you start reading those logs, and I will go get us all some food and drink.
That sounds wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
I'm going to do a food run,
Okay.
because that sounds super, super boring.
It does.
Yes.
I'll deal with you guys first. What at the looking up records? What are you guys looking up?
Information regarding anything that could regard the two artifacts that we know the names
Magical
of.
artifacts.
Yeah, or any other magical artifacts that have been entered into the city or involved in some kind of crime. And anything they have on the Modron.
They don't have anything on the Modron.
Okay.
That's not
Well,
something they
That's
have.
fair.
Um,
Well, it looks like we also need to search back quite some time.
artifacts.
I imagine the dude looked at you and said, Amadron, what is that? How do you spell it? I don't know what we're looking for.
So basically, when you go to the records office, you're taken down some halls and to a place where there's a dragonborn that is
Okay.
working in these halls.
Of course there is.
Well, I guess we can ask basically the same questions as we did in the library.
And when you ask him about magical items, about them being magical items smuggled in the city, he says a lot of these things, like, I just can't give you access to magical items that may be wandering around the city. Do you have you got to be more specific.
Yes, magic items of these type of description, where that look like gears or might have some sort of gear mechanism to them, could be utilized on gears. They shimmer in this
And
way,
they
made of
would
bronze.
look like brass, but kind of sparkly.
Sparkly brass, look like gears. He starts he'll start
I'll name off the two that we know about as well.
Okay.
To have that would help as well.
He starts going through some papers and things. It seems like this stuff is very well categorized here, especially like magical items or evidence and stuff like that. And he just looks that right up. He throws a couple papers your way. There's
Start looking through them.
there's like clockwork magical items, like magical items that are made of clockwork but they don't fit the description. There is
Okay.
something that is brass and sparkles, like you say, but it doesn't seem to be clockwork. It's called the lunar hammer.
The
Well,
lunar
it still sounds cool.
And it has something to do with the moon, which the Modron claimed they were from the moon, so that is also interesting to me.
I'm not there, but I'm out of character applauding.
So,
yeah, let's take a better look at that one.
So that thing belongs to a bandit called Ignatius.
Ignatius. We've heard that name before.
And
We've heard this name. Didn't we hear this name last game? Ignatius? A bandit named Ignatius? It sounds familiar.
He is a extremely dangerous bandit that attacks the outskirts of the Eternal Cities, basically the ancillary cities that help the Eternal City. He'll like go after like a small farming community or anything he thinks he can get away with, but he doesn't like go after places that are heavily guarded or anything like that. And he is considered very dangerous because he is a were-rat.
I'm glad that's in the notes. That's a good thing to know.
A were-rat, eh? Well, this is quite intriguing in and of itself.
So we're going to stop there. We're going to go over to... Oh, you got to talk to somebody there, Howard?
Oh, my son just walked in, but I can still play.
All right.
He just wants to watch.
So, you go get some food. You walk down the street, and there's a place that is selling kebabs, lamb kebabs, with
lamb
vegetables,
kebabs.
big honking pieces of onion,
That's my first thought.
peppers, and some spiced beef or spiced lamb.
Okay.
Maybe
I don't
goat.
remember any of them ever saying anything like, I absolutely hate meat or anything like that. I'm not saying they didn't. I'm just saying I don't remember. So, I'm going to get a couple kebabs for myself, for Regulus, and for Audrey, so 6 of those. And then I'm also going to see if I can get some... I'll get 3 bottles of wine. And I'm willing to spring for all of that.
Okay.
However much that costs.
The kebabs are just like a copper a piece. The wine is
I
going
can
to
totally
be
afford that.
More expensive than that.
Wine is more than a copper, unless it's really awful. It's like, hang on, let me clean out this green fuzzy stuff. Here's your wine. Delicious. That's your mom's $2 chuck, by the way, Corey. She
Don't
literally
worry.
had green fuzzy stuff growing in it, and we told her that we were wanting to throw it away for her. She said, nah, just get the green fuzzy stuff off.
She gets angry when
What?
I drank that stuff, but it was going bad anyways. It was like, you can't keep that forever.
Why is she alive? I love your mother, but why is she alive?
I don't know, she doesn't get sick that much
What,
either.
like, the wine had mold on it? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Oh,
When you don't store it correctly.
Drinks have mold on top of it. I'll put it that way. I used to have a roommate who used to leave out cups filled with drinks everywhere, who would never put them away or drop them. So I'd go into his room or like near his room, and there'd be little cups everywhere with little mold patches on top.
yeah. The moment you
Okay.
uncork wine, mold can start growing in there. Wine can sit on a shelf for decades and be fine. The moment you uncork it, have one glass, and reclose it however, then the air has changed in there and mold will start to grow.
I just expected that the wine would kill the mold.
Wine is not that high of an alcohol content. You're thinking of like hard liquor.
So, wine is going to be 2 silver. I'm sorry, 2 silver per... You wanted like
Okay.
a bottle.
Right, so 3 bottles is 6 silver, and then also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 copper. 6 silver, 6 copper. I will mark that off for our food. Assuming nobody gives me any problems, I will be friendly, a little bit annoying because I have an annoying voice, but otherwise, that's it for my interaction unless something bad is happening to me.
You're awfully annoying for a high charisma person.
I am annoying, but at the same time, I have a lot of confidence, and you're not entirely sure whether or not I can have you destroyed. Do you understand what I'm saying? By the way, how's my mole? Oh, you love me now.
Did we get a name for the bandit, by the way? I forgot.
Ignatius.
Ignatius.
Remember, you thought you heard of him before?
Yes, and
I
I still
don't.
do it. It still sounds familiar. I just don't know where I
Probably
might have
from
heard.
some different game. I don't know. Actually, I'm looking up to see whether something random can happen to you in a city as per the DMG. And
Oh,
no,
yeah.
these are just. Here we go.
Pickpockets.
Yeah,
Traffic jams.
here we go. 2d8. Let's roll it and see what happens. All right, you go in to buy some wine. You walk into a bar to buy some wine. You come up to the counter, and there's a dwarf sitting at the bar, drinking his wine. And he looks over at you and he says, "Well, look at you. You're a sight."
Why, thank
You're
you.
a
I
fancy.
adjust my powdered wig.
Tell you what, I'm having a bad time. Can you bless my wine?
Bless it. Oh yes, of course. I see what you're saying. I would be honored to help out a friend in need. How do you have, like, barrels or just bottles you wish blessed?
Just bless my drink.
This one.
Just bless
this
it.
one. Very well. And I will, in my native tongue of Infernal, I had to double check my character. It's my native tongue, it's not my fault.
Yeah.
Say that I wish for all of the gods to bless this wine and give this dwarf a long and happy life and much prosperity and any gold they're willing to send his way. Amen. All in Infernal.
The
Which will
dwarf
sound horrible, but
grabs his wine and says, "What are you doing?" And he throws it on you.
no deceit check, nothing.
Well, you started with Infernal.
It is my native tongue. I take a moment. Wine. It was delicious wine you've wasted.
I need another wine. Give me another wine. Don't let this person touch it.
Why would I touch your... Do I look like a serving person? I'm much taller than that. I'm actually short for a tiefling, but I'm not half of that.
Yeah,
What?
well,
You're
you were
not
gonna.
halfling sized?
Hey, your cast happens to be the servers around here.
Stop talking to me. Stop talking to me. I don't talk with any of the servants of the adversary around here, alright?
I don't even know what you're talking about, but very well. I turn and walk away from it.
Okay. The guy behind the counter is like, "Are you messing with..." Hold on. Let me find a name. I'll open up my random name
Just
generator.
call him John. You messing with John?
Hey, you messing with John over there?
That's not a good dwarven name. His name should be Jorosh Axeface.
Space.
That sounds more like
Of
an
the
orc name
Axeface
to me.
Family name.
It's like you messing with John over there?
Actually, I believe he messed with me as I looked down at the wine soaking into my clothing. in
Look,
utter
John's one of my regulars.
I
And if
see.
if he had to throw something on you, you did something.
I did nothing. I'm sorry you think that. I've offered my apologies. I'm not sure what you want me to do here.
What do you want?
I wish to purchase wine, that's all.
All right. I can get you. How much wine do you want?
Just 3 bottles.
He goes back. He gets you 3 bottles. He tells you how much it is.
I'd prefer, by the way, because we're serving meats on kebabs, so we'll need red wine, preferably a Merlot or a Cabernet Sauvignon if you have it. And
Make a persuasion roll.
I will do the very thing you just said, sir, because I'm in character, and that's how I talk.
Persuade.
Was I persuasive? I don't know. I can't see that part of the screen yet.
I don't see anything, and I haven't heard the noise.
I heard the noise. Hang on. Very effective thing. I heard him roll 2d8, I guess. I don't know. I thought I
2d8
heard
was
the
quite
noise.
some
I'll roll
time
it again.
ago.
I could swear I heard it go off, but I'll do it again. Sorry.
There
Hey,
it is.
there it goes.
Worked.
All right.
And right when I did that, I saw my first roll, which was a 22.
He says, I can get you fancier wine, but it's 10 gold a bottle.
Man, I thought I was being pretty fancy there, but pretty persuasive there.
I don't know that
The
I would call
22.
those fancy.
That's
All right.
how much fine wine is. Fine wine is 10 gold a bottle.
Oh, so that's the straight price?
That's the straight
Oh,
price.
thought
I
you
was
were-
just
I
seeing
thought you
if
were
he-
messing with me.
I was just seeing if he would actually indulge you.
I mean,
Oh,
he
okay.
didn't ask for fancy
Very
wine, though. He
well.
just asked for a certain type
Type?
of grape.
They got their stock wine, and then they have their, like, request fine wines.
So it's the good stuff or it's house blend.
All right, so yes, I will pay you. How much per bottle?
10
gold.
gold.
Oof. All right. I will indulge 2 bottles. I think that's all I can do. Yeah, we'll do 2 bottles of fine wine then.
Yeah, dude, we don't need a whole bottle each. Especially me. We can, like, have a half bottle each, and then the lush over here can have a bottle and a half.
Sounds fine to me.
Yeah.
So yes, 2 bottles, and I'll mark off 20 gold.
Bottle, fine, 10 gold pieces. That's right. Okay.
I'm not arguing with you, Corey. I just honestly, out of character, didn't realize it was that much. All right, I
you
have
get
a
some
gold
wine?
left.
And you head back to find them down the hall. A page will lead you down there, and they are looking over some notes.
Well, I have brought food, and I lay out the kebabs and the wine.
Ooh, that looks delicious.
Wonderful.
Thank you,
We are going to need
Verbositus.
all of the energy we can muster in order to hunt down this bandit. Hmm. Is this a kebab?
We found
Oh, I
one
marked
thing that
off
looks
6
promising.
silver for. I'm sorry, I marked off 6 silver for the wine earlier, but you changed the price because of a different wine, so let me add the 6 silver back.
Oh, do I owe you anything for the cost?
Of course not. I could easily afford this.
How generous. What kind of wine did you procure?
I show you the wine. I would tell you whatever the label says. I just
Yeah,
wouldn't say
I was
it,
gonna
so
say my character will probably look at it and go, "Ooh, that is wine that is better than the stuff we found in the storeroom of Titus."
Yes, initially they wanted to give me a Riesling. I was like, please, what kind of kebabs? It has to be at least A Merlot. A Merlot has
Savory,
a
quite
deep, rich taste that I
savory.
appreciate.
Well, we did find something that looked promising. Unfortunately, it's in the
Really?
possession of a were-rat bandit.
Yeah, as she's describing it, I chew the wine to get a good.
You chew the wine.
I actually know what he's talking about. That's the thing. I look honestly surprised. Really, I imagined this was more like a covering every base, but not actually expecting a result type of thing. I'm impressed. You found a lead. Good job.
Hopefully,
This
it'll
wine
pan
is
out.
Exquisite. And yes, we found some reference to a magical item called the Lunar Hammer. It is owned by a bandit named Ignatius, who happens to indeed be a were-rat, but he is likely to be close by the city. He seems to attack smaller towns and villages outside of town that help support the Eternal City. So I'm assuming he cannot be that far. Perhaps we might be able to find more information, but we will need our wits about us if we are going to combat such a wondrous beast.
The Dragonborn also says, yeah, probably better weapons than you have.
That's true.
Can
Accurate.
we get any more information on this Ignatius person?
Oh, that's all in the report right there. He has a band of bandits, and they are all... Once you join his crew, you eventually become a were-rat.
That's not surprising.
But his band isn't large because he doesn't want to support a lot of people. So it's basically around, it's 5 or less.
Okay.
A small band, like a rock band. You don't only need a.
Yes, it's a rock band.
It's not exactly
band.
a choir or a full symphony.
He does move around, so you'll have to figure out how to track him down out when you're out there.
Already have theories. First, and what you describe his actions as are very befitting of a rat. In that you say that he only attacks the weak, those small towns, probably I would imagine people on roads, but he doesn't go after anything that looks like a real opposition. Like a rat, he's going after the easy prey. They're timid, scared, stupid creatures. And also like a rat, I bet he would prefer a subterranean environment. Can we find out if there are any caves in that area or other types of tunnels?
That would not be the purview of this of these records here.
We might be able to speak
No,
to...
we
We need to
Back to
find
the
the
library.
Geological Society.
Of course, there's also the possibility of caves, in which case we'd still need to know where the caves are known to be.
I have a quick question. I don't know. Can I take like a falcon as a familiar, or is that too big of a bird?
I don't know. What are the rules on familiar?
I'm sure you could have a falcon with the rules
There's
of
a
a familiar.
list of birds. Like I could get an owl, and I think raven are on there, but I mean I think
Those are big birds.
Actually, hawk is on there. Hawk will work.
Yeah, that's hawk is a falcon. What are you talking about? That's the same thing.
Really similar.
Yeah.
They're all birds are the same, babe.
It's a raptor.
It does give you a little bit of GM leeway.
Is this the find familiar spell, or is this the familiar getting as a wizard?
Find familiar spell. Yeah.
Well, it tells you under there how many CR it's worth. You gain service of a familiar, a spirit that takes the animal of your choice, a bat, cat, crab, frog, toad, hawk, lizard, octopus, owl, boy, blah, blah, blah.
Octopus.
I think an owl or a hawk will work.
No,
I
dude.
need an hour and I need to spend 10 gold, and then
Get a blah, blah, blah. Those are amazing.
Yeah. They're terrifying creatures.
I think you should get an octopus because it can squeeze through small crevices.
No, get an octopus
if we're gonna
and
go
wear
hunting-
him on your head.
If we're gonna go hunting, I might as well like cast this spell as a ritual so I don't lose a spell slot, and then just like get a bird that can hunt with us.
Yeah.
I really like the octopus you're wearing on your head. Because basically, if you get blinded, you can try to look through your familiar's eye, and then just see just fine.
But I think either hawks or owls have dark vision. I don't remember.
By the way, if you look in the book, it
Well,
says
an owl definitely would.
it says hawk, parenthetical, falcon.
Yeah.
They're the same bird.
I don't have the book on me right now, so I was looking it up. Through the
Stat-wise is the same bird.
Hawk
Okay.
/ falcon.
Oh yeah,
So yes, you can have a familiar that's a falcon.
Good job, Corey. You just made every bird lover hate D&D. Because they're all watching right now. Even if we aren't live.
We got any ornithologists in the group?
Is that a dentist?
The ornithologists are getting ornery. Is that what's happening?
I think so.
Oh God, puns.
actually, it has an AC of 14 too. Falcons are badass. Okay.
I would hope it would have a good AC. It's small
Well,
and mobile.
An owl has an 11 to give you context. Owl has 11. Falcon has 14.
Falcon
But
should be
the
higher.
But the owl has dark vision, and the falcon doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you need to
Because
get
they're
the alarm
daytime
spell,
flyers.
and you can make your familiar your mount.
That would be cool. I think I'm gonna take an owl. Owl looks cool. I'm gonna take owl.
Oh, you're gonna get an owl, not a hawk? Okay.
Yeah, owl.
Then when you mount the owl, it can turn its head all the way around and look you in the face like.
Only because
How
I feel
dare
like
you get
having
on my
that dark
back?
vision will be helpful for us. But if I'm gonna cast Find Familiar, I'm gonna need an hour and like 10 minutes.
Okay.
Whatever,
Well,
we're just
how much
chilling.
time has passed since
And a
we
place to cast
split
it.
up?
You really can't
Yeah,
cast it
and
in
a-
here.
Yeah, and a place. Yeah, if I could summon a bird in the middle of this record room. Don't worry, he's kind. He's a kind owl.
Does it materialize out of nowhere, or does it just
Yeah, materializes.
feel your call and fly in?
No, it materializes.
Materializes. Yeah,
There you
and
go,
I can give it
you-
its own within 100 feet of you, so I could technically do it outside. Oh no, never mind. Within 10 feet
So-
of me.
Where are you going to do this ritual?
Well, I need to go and buy 10 gold pieces worth of charcoal, incense, and herbs, and then I will go probably outdoors somewhere that I can feel confident
Okay.
to do the ritual.
You leave to go buy things.
With wine with me.
Just the whole bottle. You don't
Yeah,
even
just
need
a
a
bottle of
glass.
wine. Yeah. Exactly.
Ooh, there's a tavern name generator here.
Ooh.
Ooh.
The sparkling unicorn.
What the hell? Okay. So you go to a place where you can get reagents.
Yes.
Owned by a dragonborn, a white one. He helps you find the ingredients that you want.
Okay, yeah, I'll spend 10 gold on getting these reagents.
Charcoal, incense,
Actually,
and
I
herbs.
kind of want to spend 20 gold to get double the amount. That way, if I need to cast it again, if it gets like discorporated, I can cast it again.
Sure.
So I'll spend 20 gold pieces. I have 30, so it'll leave me with 10. I'll be fine.
I have so much incense. It smells great around Regulus.
It does.
So-
What scent of incense do you have?
So where are you doing this?
Well, I have a home. I could go to my home and do it, or I could, go to a place. It doesn't require me to have a huge special area to do it, but if there is like a temple to Memetis, around the city, I could probably
No.
go there and perform it.
For just a moment, I'd like to be the incense dealer. No, we have all types of incense. We have verdant forest or ogre's toe. It really does. It depends on what you're into. Tell me about your fetish. and
I
we'll
feel like
find sense for you.
patchouli is appropriate for all occasions.
Yeah.
Here,
And it
here's the
masks
thing.
the scent of other smells that might be in the area.
Most temples to old gods have been reappropriated for the absolute, and they don't exist anymore.
Oh, I thought Memetis was one of the was not an ancient god. I thought it was one of the angels.
Oh, one of the angels.
yeah.
I'm sorry. I apologize. Yes,
That's the god that I worship, was the god of knowledge and or the angel of knowledge.
the angel of knowledge, right?
Whereas the old god of knowledge is known as what's up. He will tell you what's up.
I thought you were gonna say wasabi.
This is
No, that's the god of runny eyes and noses.
he's the old god of my bad.
Yeah, so if there's a temple to Memetis, I'm sure that they would allow me to perform a ritual.
Sure, you'll have to make a persuasion check to persuade them, but otherwise, I'm sure they'll.
I will try.
He's not persuasive.
Not going to be
Do
pretty.
you have
but
a negative
go.
on Cha?
I do, yeah, I do.
Oh,
That's a natural
well,
20.
they're
Natural
perfectly
20.
okay with this.
Hell, they might have provided me with the materials I needed already.
They do have incense.
Yeah.
I'm sure they would.
Well, I will ritually
always
cast
burning.
Find Familiar and summon myself a little owl.
Right, you have an owl. It's in your little character sheet area, by the way. You can
Nice.
So
see
does
the
it go
stats.
whoo, whoo, or does it go
That's what it sounds like.
It goes.
And it
I never
curses.
made it without biting. 1, 2, 3.
crunch?
I was about to say, oh wait, that's the turtle that says I never made it without biting.
Yeah.
Go ask Mr. Owl. And you figured it out as soon as I was about to say, go ask Mr. Owl. Ah!
But then quickly throw a straw at the turtle. Instant death.
Oh, guys, did you see the robot chicken
I'm sure-
sketch?
I
with
did. I just saw it earlier, like today. Oh, that was just so great.
I just learned straws are deadly to turtles.
By the way, I went to a restaurant that served me with a paper straw. Those things suck.
It tasted terrible.
Metal straws are the way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
Sure
my
are.
wife bought a
Hey!
whole package of paper straws, and all they do is go soggy in your drink and make it impossible to drink things.
I don't usually use straws anyway. I usually just drink out of the cup. But whatever.
Yeah, me too. Well, the only reason to use a straw is if you've got ice in it, because having the ice fall in your face is terrible.
yeah, it's not fun. It's not enjoyable. I agree with that.
You have an owl! It's a celestial owl.
Ooh,
Yay!
sparkle.
Oh no, it's
I
not.
will-
It's just a familiar owl. I thought it got like the. Sorry, I flashed back to 3.5 rules, where celestial was a template. You added on to things to make them amazing.
Yeah.
No,
Not
no.
that odd.
This is a celestial
one's dying.
spirit. This is a spirit that takes animal form and appears in the ritual area.
Right. I remember the rules now for familiar. I flashed back to the wrong set of rules and was like, what? He got a what owl? No, it's fine.
You can communicate with it telepathically, and you can see through its eyes and hear what it hears.
And no matter what you ask
Can
it,
you
it says,
taste what it tastes? Because I've never eaten mouse.
You get the sensation of wanting to hork up an owl pellet.
It also can't attack on its own, but I can deliver spells through it.
That's true.
Yes.
And it can
Make it a
take
touch
the
attack.
It can take the help attack or help action in combat and give me an advantage on an attack.
That is also correct.
That's right. It can annoy
Make
people
like you're
while
gonna
you
claw
fight
out his
them.
eyes.
And apparently it doesn't provoke attack of opportunities because it's an owl.
Also, in the game that I run on Sundays with my friends, that aren't you, they have figured out that owl, they use an owl, can give the help action to other people, and they keep having the owl fly into an area as the thief is sneaking in, so he definitely gets the backstab.
Yeah, that's also helpful.
You know how to get rid of that crap? Fireball, area effect spells, get rid of familiars like that.
Yeah.
That, or just for once find a reason to target it, but I'm always like, I could take one action and kill this owl, but this other guy is throwing fireballs at me, and that is so much more intimidating than this stupid owl. God, go away.
Yeah. Stop pooping on my armor.
CR 1/2.
Yeah. Okay. Well, after I summon my owl, I will go search out Audrey and Verbositus.
Verbositus.
So, everybody can meet back up unless the others have something special to do.
I'm good.
I'll assume you meet back up at the guild.
Yep.
Works for
That's
me.
where I'll be headed.
You see, since it's later on in the day, a lot of the guild members have come back and they're lounging around. They're having a drink. They're having a little meal.
Have you inquired about with any of the guild members about this band of this bandit crew?
No, I haven't inquired.
Perhaps they might have more information that would help us in hunting him down. I was able to procure an owl.
Oh, you have a
it's
bird.
so pretty.
He is.
You have one of those head twisty birds. That's terrifying.
Yes. The avatar of knowledge and wisdom. I thought it was quite appropriate.
You're aware that a demon-possessed creature can spin its head around. How would you even know if something happened to your owl?
I'm sure it would tell me.
Why would it say that if it's possessed by a demon?
During the ensuing struggle over maintaining its will, I'm sure it would mention something. Squawk in disapproval or what
Its
have
name
you.
is Nex.
Anyway, this wine
Nex.
is fantastic. I shared some with the priests at the Temple of Memetis. They were quite impressed as well. Good job, Verbositus.
You're welcome.
I take another swig of the wine bottle.
Regulus, you know its name is Nex.
Yes, my owl's name is Nex.
So when it dies, what comes next?
Silly boy. I can just summon him back. He cannot be free from me.
Next is always next.
Precisely.
Interesting.
And I'll say, well, hello, Nex. You are a lovely bird.
For a creature that can rotate its head, it seems to have the exact wrong word for its name. Because I would assume that'd be the one thing it doesn't really have.
No, Nex.
I'm fairly certain owls are some sort of abyssal monsters.
I look up and around at the different adventurers. Perhaps we should ask one of these individuals if they know anything about where we might expect to find this bandit Ignatius.
Of course. Let's all ask around.
Okay.
Sir,
Are you gonna split up and ask? Are you gonna go talk to one person at a time? All three of you? How are you doing this?
I hate to say this, but
think
we
we
are
need to be in a
better
group.
separate when we're just talking to people. In a group for combat, we are fantastic. But when we're all together talking to the same person, we step on each other and it's terrible.
Okay, I'll wander off and get slapped by a person because I said the wrong thing.
Okay.
Regulus,
But
I
that
think
means
you've done enough. You can just sit down and relax and enjoy your wine bottle.
Fantastic idea. I'll go over our notes one more time just to be certain. Excellent, excellent.
exactly.
I lean back, take a sip
Oh
of
yeah,
the wine.
gather
and
information
slowly,
is not a thing
nod
now.
off to,
Nope.
to take a wine nap.
Okay, I'm gonna come up with a NPC real quick.
The dice say the NPC murders us all. New game.
Well, shuckadoos.
Chuck all the dues.
I hope that's not their intelligence score.
I'm gonna have to look at the dice roller because I'm just getting worried.
2, 2, 12, 11.
I assume the 1d6 wasn't like any type of stat score.
Yeah, I know. I'm just
7 on a d12.
I would love to know what charts he's using to destroy us.
all of them.
I'm clueless.
I've just rolled the Tarask's half brother. What? The other half is halfling. That means the Tarask is but a mere 50 feet tall. Oh, goody. I'm level 1.
Also, its feet are
Or two.
furry.
And 2 of these.
Although I have an excellent miniature for a Tarask while we're waiting. If it ever comes up in a tabletop game, this is my miniature for Tarask.
Godzilla.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. That is an awesome. It has
Wait,
wheels.
does it have wheels?
It
It does have
You
wheels.
like pull it back and it shoots
Also, his
forward?
fist just shot off.
Oh, that's so cool.
I don't know why. Actually, I do know why. This is from 1977 or 6. And his fist was made to shoot off because he was made by the same people that made in Japan that made the Shogun Warrior toys. And that's what they do. They all shot their fists off, and they were like, oh, we have a contract to make a Godzilla toy. Great. And they made an awesome Godzilla toy whose fist shot off, just like it does in the movies. That never happened. And also, I
Just
don't
like
know where
they
that
do
fist
in my dreams.
All
And for
right.
some reason, instead of breathing fire, he does this. He sticks his tongue out, which is made of fire.
That's right. Stick out that popsicle stick.
So, anyway,
So
I
you-
believe I have covered time while Corey was doing his thing.
You noticed a halfling with some missing fingers. She is she doesn't drink wine because she's kind of pale with little sullen eyes. But she's basically twiddling a coin in her fingers, between her fingers.
The 3 she has.
Yeah. The 3 she has. The fingers she has, she's pretty good with, it looks like.
Well, lucky her, it doesn't seem to have impaired her dexterity. Okay. Well, I guess I'll go talk to her. The
Okay.
one person we see.
You walk up and she's humming to herself. And she sees you approach and she says, "Oh, you're Bronze. Oh, welcome to the Factorum Guild.
Oh, thank you. Hi, my name is Audrey Greenleaf.
My name is I need some female names. Tulia.
Nice to meet you, Julia. Well, my group has just gotten, well, we've been asked to find some stolen items, and unfortunately, one of our leads seems to be pointing us toward a bandit called Ignatius, and we're just looking to find any information that we can about him and his band of bandits.
Ignatius? There's a band of bandits inside the city?
No, not inside the city. They seem to, try to hit small towns and farming villages, that kind of thing, outside of the city.
I didn't know we gave contracts for outside of the city.
Well, it's not really a contract for outside the city, but, he seems to maybe be one of the places we should look in order to solve something that happened in the city.
Well, I don't know what to say. Most of the jobs happen inside the city here. It's rare that something goes outside of the city, but if there's something you need, an Ignatius, this bandit, I would talk to either the guards or the army, and they would have more information.
Okay. Thank you.
Of course. Hey, you're new. You don't know everything around here yet.
No, and I appreciate your help.
And, Verbositus, you gonna talk to somebody?
That was the plan, yes.
Okay. I'm gonna roll up another person real quick.
Meanwhile, as he rolls that up, if you like what you're watching, and if for any reason you're watching this far, feel free to like and subscribe. Hey, I have a new t-shirt.
I've got your back.
Just filling time.
That's hilarious. I love it.
We'll do less on this guy.
Ooh, what's that for?
You find a wizard with a long white beard as he pulls on it like a wizened martial artist.
Like that
wizened
weirdo in
martial
Seismonos.
I'm picturing that the drunken master that teaches Jackie Chan in those classic movies.
But he has
great.
He has a wizardly demeanor about him. He has a spell book, obviously, and his hair is shocking blue.
Blue? Oh, that's different.
It's shocking.
Well, it is shocking because hair dye is not really much of a thing. I mean, it exists, but blue.
I'm sure there's a cantrip to
You people
change your
take
hair
blueberries
color.
and just start going. How do I look? By the way, my hair is all screwed up for the rest of this video. Not that it was looking great before, but... Alright. Now it's annoying.
As you approach him, he says, "Oh, not another one. What do you need?"
I was hoping to just make conversation, but I don't wish to bother you.
Oh, I know you're going to want something from me eventually.
Would you rather I cut to the chase then? I do prefer people that are just business. It saves so much time.
If you must. I mean, if I don't, you'll probably get yourself killed doing some god knows what. And then who's on the line? It's me. I would have to be on the line for whatever it is you get yourself caught up into.
Well, first of all, I have assumptions that I've made about you just from surveying you that I would like to confirm before I bother you. Are you a wizard?
Indeed, I'm a wizard.
Spellbook on his hip.
You
My name
hold
is
yourself as
Opita.
one. Your arcane knowledge shows in your features.
I am Opita the Transmuter, sir.
I am Verbositus, the investigator. And I remember that I have a pen and point at it.
Yes, I know you're a new person. You're bronze. I can tell. I'm gold. Member
Oh.
of the Talon of Dragons.
Talon of Dragon, that's a fabulous name. Wish I had thought of that. Very well. I'm thinking of upgrading. What do you think of the name of Dead Unicorn? Does that sound cool?
That's a great name, actually. That's the best thing you've said all conversation.
But, more to the matter at hand. In your arcane research, have you ever come across the word Modron?
Modrons.
Small cube or sphere-like creatures?
Yes, indeed. They were all destroyed.
Were they now?
They were destroyed by the Emperor.
Oh, well that seems mighty convenient. But I believe someone may be collecting artifacts related to Modron. They look like gears, or... And then I begin to describe the longer, like, axle-looking thing that the gear can be put on. And I believe we have a lead on one that we've been asked to investigate, called the Lunar Hammer, which is in the hands of a bandit outside of this town. I was wondering if there's any chance I could convince you to share whatever arcane knowledge you had with me in exchange for perhaps some of this wine, which I present the other bottle that Regulus didn't empty.
Wait, what makes you think this lunar hammer is connected to the Modrons?
Just the description seems to match some of the other items that are being looked into.
Well, I guess people would name things strangely after a long time.
Oh, also I read something about Modrons once claiming to be from the moon.
That's nothing I've ever heard of. Where did you find this information?
A Dragonborn mentioned it.
Would you like to roll
they
to
take a lot of notes, but I personally don't like to write. It's very exhausting.
Would you like to make a deceit check?
I will totally make a deceit check, because I am lying my butt off.
Well, it's kind of a small lie.
21! My butt lied right off.
You did hear this information, but from the Modrons themselves.
Shut up, woman who's not there!
You have successfully bamboozled him. And he says, Dragonborn. I'd like to meet this Dragonborn sometime.
Oh yes, he was either a coppery or bronzy color, I forget. Anyway, they all look the same.
So tell me,
Maybe gold, I don't know.
you're going after this lunar hammer, and it has some connection to the Modrons, and the Modrons have some connection to the moon. These are all very interesting. What kind of contract is this for?
Well, essentially, an item was stolen. We're looking for that, but we'll find out that there are other items that were connected to it, as I've said. And we're wondering if... Well, first of all, one of the other items is owned by a guard captain, some sort of family item, and this other one is owned by some brigand, and we're looking into that, the Lunar Hammer. That is the one we want to acquire.
Right.
Beyond that, I don't know. Modrons sound like a mystery to me. They sound like very strange creatures. The idea of balls and boxes jumping about sounds...
The only item I can think of, the things you have talked about I don't have any knowledge of, but the thing I know about is the Kelsey's Callipus.
The Kelsey's what now?
The Kelsey's
Callipus?
Callipus?
That was the one that we found
Yes.
first.
It's a shield owned by Senator Cena.
Yes! Fantastic. Well, I appreciate that, but you know nothing else of the Modrin or the Lunar Hammer.
Well, what's this? Who's the bandit?
Ignatius.
You know, this is the one time that his splitting up is really screwing me, because Regulus is the one with all the notes, and my character would not have noticed.
Yeah.
So, damn it. My friend who keeps track of all the nerds and the details is over there drinking, well, way too much wine. And I look at him, yes.
He pulls out his spell book and he starts flipping through it.
I wave when you look back. Hi.
Is he
Look
gonna
at
like
the
do a
owl.
spell to sober Regulus up?
No.
That'd be really funny.
I may later need a solo mission to go steal him that weapon that gives him bonuses while drunk. I'm gonna do it. It's gonna happen eventually.
Downtime missions.
So he begins casting a spell.
Neat. Do I need to roll Arcana to know what he's doing? As I